Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. The US-China trade war just found its accelerator. A 100% additional tariff, a crippling ban on critical software, and a geopolitical showdown set for November 1st, 2025. We are witnessing a monumental shift in global trade that could either tank the world economy or create the single greatest opportunity for nations like India. This isn't just about exports. It's about the future of technology, from AI to semiconductors. Let's break down the deadline and the enormous impact. President Donald Trump has reignited the trade war with a bombshell announcement on social media: a 100% additional tariff on all imports from China, effective November 1st, 2025. This levy is over and above any existing duties. Given that the average tariff was already high, this move could push the total duty on many Chinese goods sold in the US to an unprecedented 130% or more. The trigger for this escalation: China's own extraordinarily aggressive position on trade, specifically its decision to tighten export controls on rare earth materials, the very elements vital for US defense, electric vehicles, and high-tech industries. Trump's message was clear. This is a response to China trying to monopolize critical materials and sending what he called a hostile letter to the world. But the tariff hike is only half the story. The true knockout punch is the accompanying ultimatum for the tech sector. Trump also announced a ban on the export of any and all critical software to China, also starting November 1st. What does critical software mean? While the specific list is not yet public, experts predict these controls will target the foundational technologies powering China's future: cloud computing, advanced AI models, machine learning, and critical infrastructure software. US software is the backbone of global tech. Restricting its access is designed to severely cripple China's ability to develop cutting-edge technology. A direct shot at industries like Huawei and SMIC, who rely on Western software tools for everything from chip design to cloud services. This deadline is not just economic, it's a technological and geopolitical declaration of war. The reaction was immediate and brutal. Within hours of the announcement, Wall Street tumbled. Over $1.5 trillion in market value was wiped out across the Dow Jones, S&P 500, and NASDAQ, with the NASDAQ plunging over 3.5%. Investors fear a renewed, all-out trade war will derail the fragile global economic recovery. Why the fear? First, inflation. These tariffs are not paid by China. They are paid by US importers and passed directly to the American consumer. An extra 100% cost on everyday goods will significantly fuel inflation and raise production costs for American companies using Chinese parts. Second, supply chains. Global firms, already struggling to recover from pandemic-era disruptions, will face immense pressure to reroute their entire manufacturing processes out of China. This friendshoring will be costly and slow. Third, geopolitics. China is expected to retaliate, potentially redirecting its rare earth supplies towards non-Western partners, further fracturing global supply chains and creating two distinct industrial networks. The world is watching to see if this is a strategic move or a catastrophic miscalculation. Now, let's pivot to what this means for India. because the narrative here is overwhelmingly positive. For India, this massive tariff hike on China is essentially a starter gun for a new wave of export growth. The logic is simple. Chinese goods are now priced out of the American market. U.S. buyers, the biggest importers in the world, must find an alternative, and India is perfectly positioned to be that alternative. This is the China plus one strategy in full force. Which sectors are seeing the biggest gains? 1. Textiles and garments. China's dominance here is being challenged. Indian textile exporters are already reporting increased outreach from American retail giants like Target. 2. Toys and electronics. Manufacturers in India, boosted by the government's PLI schemes, are now on a more level playing field. A toy exporter noted that the high U.S. duty will create a parity and give us a level playing field. 3. Trade negotiations. This conflict strengthens India's hand in its ongoing bilateral trade agreement negotiations with the U.S., cementing its status as America's most preferred partner and a bulwark against Chinese economic influence. The U.S. is actively looking to friendshore to India, making this a generational opportunity. However, India faces critical challenges it must navigate to maximize this opportunity. First, the dumping risk. As China loses access to the massive U.S. market, it may try to divert its overcapacity of cheap goods to developing nations, including India. This could lead to the dumping of inexpensive Chinese-made products, which would hurt India's domestic micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSME. Second, the rare earth threat. China's own export controls on rare earth elements pose a direct threat to India's automobile and nascent EV manufacturing industry, which rely on these materials. New Delhi must prioritize building self-reliance in critical minerals and components to insulate its economy. But the greatest opportunity is in tech. The U.S. software ban and the broader tech conflict are positioning India to become a major semiconductor and chip export hub. With U.S. companies seeking non-Chinese partners, India's PLI schemes, and a strong engineering talent pool make it the prime destination for global semiconductor giants looking to invest billions into R&D and fabrication plants. The key takeaway from this escalating crisis is that the global economy is fracturing. The U.S. is moving to decouple from China in two vital areas: manufactured goods and foundational technology. The November 1st deadline is a date that will be marked in economic history. It's the moment the U.S. drew a red line on critical software. For India, the message is clear. This is not a short-term trade win, but a chance to fundamentally restructure its place in the global supply chain. To succeed, India must stabilize its policies, enhance its infrastructure, and capitalize on the billions of dollars of investment that are now looking for a home outside of China. The world is changing, and this time, India is in the driver's seat. What do you think? Will the U.S. tariffs trigger a global recession, or will it accelerate the rise of countries like India and Mexico? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit the like button and subscribe. We'll be tracking this story every step of the way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.